Mhm.
Welcome to another episode of Gari-On Talks. This is your host, Dorette. Gari-On is about finding creative ways to have people learn the Garifuna language. And we do this in various ways. One of them is Gari-On Talks. So the purpose of this show is to talk to our Garifuna people, people of Garifuna origin, about their lives and how the Garifuna language fits into their lives. So we're very happy to have our next guest. She is a daughter, a sister, a mother, a wife, you know, uh, one of the most creative people I know. She designs, she sews, clothing for people, for herself. She's a very well-known content creator that I, just recently got to know. So I'm very happy and I look forward to learning more and hearing, what inspires her and how she came to where she is today. So she goes by Simply Dandy. So Simply Dandy, welcome, Mabuga. Thank you for being here.
Happy to be here. So,
Okay.
my content name or my TikTok names is Simply Dandy, but go by my government name is Nirissie Marin, and I am a Belizean content creator on the rise and budding. But yeah, I'm just happy to be here.
Okay, great. So I will pass it over to you to talk a little bit about um, you know, about your background and your journey to where you are today.
Okay, so I am originally born and raised and currently in Dangriga town, which is the holy mecca of Garifuna in itself, the powerhouse for the culture, if you may, you know. And I've been here for, I know I some years, but I've been here for a while. And Garifuna has always been interwoven in my life, each and every aspect. Unfortunately, I'm not fluent in it, but I like to say that if I can't, if I'm lacking in one aspect of the culture, that means I could embrace the other parts. For me, it's creating the Garifuna clothes, engaging in music, taking part in the food, how and embracing other parts of the culture that I know I can, embrace and encompass in my daily lives. And when I am traveling or people get to know my ethnicity and telling them I'm Garifuna is just it just feel like I've won the lottery. But I just enjoy being Garifuna and being a Garifuna woman and contributing my skills to the culture is something that I enjoy. So yeah, that's a little bit about me.
Mm-hmm. All right. So tell us a little bit about what it was like for you growing up Garifuna.
Growing up Garifuna and being around, I get to be around elders. One of the late great Miss Clarine. Um, Growing up, it was, to say the least, it was amazing. I wouldn't change a thing. And I got to see everything in its raw, true, authentic form. Especially when I went by my aunt's house back when, in the days, late 1990s and telecast, I would get to experience her, making bread and Johnny cakes and all of those things, herbal teas from scratch. And I was always fascinated, especially with the elder Garifuna woman. Now, the issue plays where, they would speak a little bit of Garifuna to me. and they would teach me, of course, but we do have a saying here, whereas you when you learn something new, you would learn the negative side of it, aka the, foul side, before you learn the good part. And I've always grown around elderly Garinago people who are very expressive about themselves. So getting to see how they interact, laugh, talk, dance, share food was very interesting to me. And I think I was very privileged to experience that in its most authentic nature. So that interwoven with me now is just, as the time goes by, you don't get to see people making certain stuff from fire hearts. Like myself, for example, I do partake in that every now and again, but I do believe that there are some people that does it, but it start to dilute as it go along. But it is still there, healthy and strong, but it's just in the back rooms, it's in the shadows. And by doing this, it's bringing it into the forefront. So yeah, growing up, I was so privileged to experience it firsthand.
Mhm. And tell us a little bit about the language aspect, you know. Was Garifuna spoke to you in your household? Were you asked to respond in Garifuna?
Well, in my household, no, but little phrases and um little phrases and little words were spoken. Of course, simple things like hurry up, I'm hungry in Garifuna. In far from my head, I can't say it right now.
Mhm,
But when interacting with elderly people, I was expected to respond in Garifuna, and that is where I would say the conflict comes in, because I would know little things like Kabiri, Ida Biyangi, and this type of stuff. But full blown conversations, I wasn't able to partake in that because I'm sad to say that I didn't really understand it. So I wasn't speaking it, nor was I fluent. And
mhm,
still, no.
yeah. So what do you say to people, especially younger people who want to learn the language, you know, who are interested and now are at a place and are saying, okay, I want to learn Garifuna, I want to know how, I want to understand Garifuna, I want to speak Garifuna. You know, what do you say to that person? What's your advice to them?
Whatever materials, like for example, this channel, you always post ways on how to say words. So I definitely refer them to this, and be around people who speak it freely, because you'll have no choice but to learn it and engage in it. Even if it's just little words like I said, kabire ida biyange odigia sereme, you know, those would help a lot. And referring and even asking questions, and asking what does this mean and how to pronounce it, that would help. Whatever instrument or whatever materials are out there to learn, be engage with it as much as possible, and be with people who speak it. That was the main thing I would say.
Mhm. Okay, great. So tell us a little bit about what you do, you know, and in terms of your creativity, you know, how did that came about, you know, up to the point to where you are today?
Well, my creativity stems from being someone who's observant, and
Mhm,
someone who gets to know certain things, and being very hands on. Now, having that little passion definitely blow up into something, whereas I do know how to sew. I do engage in painting and drawing is every now and again, but my main outlets would be sewing. Now, I do have a brother. His name is Desmond Brigal, known. He teaches clothing and textile at the Lil Academy. Now, when he was in Dangrigan, when he had his shop, and when I went there, and he told me, of course, I see him sewing uniforms, but he had I believe it was his niece or someone my age at that time, and he said, you see this? She saw this, by herself. And I was like, wow, so if she could do it, I could. And I start off sewing by my hands. Then I go with YouTube. Of course, the Garifuna outfit that you see behind me, I wasn't taught it. I am a self-taught seamstress, and I'm proud
Mm,
to say that. With the help of YouTube, of course, and encouragement, and I do have a strong support system that helps me with that. But not only sewing, I do paintings as well. I want to do like, get to Mr. Pen Cayetano level, but slowly but surely, I can't be a master of all, but I'd like to be. But
mhm,
yeah, being observant and applying what you see and through trial and error, that definitely do help me a lot, and it's definitely helps with the skills I've acquired up to now.
mhm. Okay, great, great. So I guess let's switch um to a game that I came up with, which I called Garifuna Word Match. Since you don't really speak and understand the language fluently, this game is intended to meet you halfway, per se.
Mm-hmm.
So I will switch. You let me know that you're able to see my screen.
No problem.
Um, let's see here. So are you able to see my screen?
Yes, I am.
Okay, great. All right. So as you can see in column A are the images, the photos. In column B are the English word for those images. In column C are the Garifuna words for those images, but it's mixed, it's
Mm-hmm.
jumbled up. So the aim of the game is to match the correct Garifuna word to the image. So the first one is the Garifuna dictionary, which is an example of how the game is played. So the word for book is, do you see the word? Can you make
Mm-hmm.
out the word? So the word for book is
Oh, Garada.
Garada. So that's the word. So when you match the word, I will copy and paste it in column D. Sounds good?
All right, you put me for the spot. Woo!
Yeah,
Okay.
it's just, the point is to try. That's the aim of the game, to try.
Uh-huh.
So the first one is a painting or sketch by you
Oh, what's
that
that?
you had shown me years ago. I don't know if you remember it, but this is one of your
Oh, yeah. I do.
artwork. Yeah. So well, the word drawing is to represent the image.
Mm-hmm.
So the options are, is it Fanedera? Is it Garinago? Is it Anahaguni, Garifuna? Is it Barana? Or is it Adebuhani?
Let me
So
see.
Adebuhani, that's on Barana, Anahaguni, Garifuna, Garinago, or Fanedera. Which one do you think it is? And it's okay to say you'll pass it for now and go to another one. That's fine as well.
Okay, because I would guess.
Yeah, I mean, that's
But
what we do when we don't know for sure, right?
yeah, we could skip
So,
to the ones that I have a clue about. Then that
okay,
one they might become a little
okay,
bit. Yeah.
okay. So let's skip that one for now. So the second one is the top for the Garifuna outfit, female. And I just named this Garifuna clothing. So is it Fanedera? Is
Mm-mm,
it Garinago? Is it Anagoni Garifuna? Is it Barana?
mm-mm.
Or is it Adibuhani?
The one with Anagone Garifuna.
Right. So that's correct. So let's insert it here and change the color. So that's one. And then I'll cross this out so we know we did that one already. So the
Mm-hmm.
next one is flag. So is it Fanedera? Is it Garinago? Is it Barana? Or is it Adibuhani?
The Fedena Fanidara.
Fanedera. That's correct. So that goes here. And then we cross this one out. So the next one is Garifuna people. Is it um, Garinagu? Is it Barana? Or is it Adibuhani?
Garinagu.
Garinagu. All right, again.
Yay!
And
Mm-mm.
then we cross this one out. So the next one is C.
Mm-hmm.
Is it Barana or is it Adibuhani?
I would say the Adebohanda for the drawing and Barana would be for C.
Okay, you got it. Good job.
Yeah, I got it.
You got it.
What? My ancestors were guiding me. That is it.
Ah, you did it. Very good.
Like recalling songs, and when Tris would interpret that to me,
Hmm.
so that do help. So
Hmm.
wow, yay me.
Yeah, good job. You did it. All right. So now that we have all of them, so drawing is
Sorry, I don't got my glasses. Adebohani,
Adibuhani. Garfna clothing is
ag, ag, Anagoani,
Anaguni.
Anagone Garifuna.
Anaguni Garfina. That should be one of your words because that's what you do.
I
That's one
know.
of the things that you do.
Iron.
Anaguni Garfina. And then flag is
Fanidara,
Anidara Garifina people.
Gardena.
Garinago.
Mm-hmm.
And C is
Barana.
Barana. Beautiful sea. That's the beach in Hopkins. All right, great. So now let's switch to this one.
Another
Can you
one.
see my screen?
Yes, I can. Oh my
Okay,
gosh.
so these are your artworks again.
You have me.
Um, where
No.
we, huh?
It's weird. It's so nice that you still have these. I don't.
What?
No, because I had plan for transition to canvas paintings. So
Oh,
I don't
cool.
have them.
Let me see. Well, they're up here. and I can share them with you if you want them. So yeah.
Yeah, not appreciate.
So these are your artwork, and the one in the middle was what I had up to represent drawing. Do you remember the word for drawing?
Adibur
Adibahani. Good. So when it comes to drawing, you know, what is that feeling that you get when you get that inspiration for an idea and then you put it on paper, or now you're say you're experimenting with canvas, what is that process like for you?
to be honest, it's just like a need to create. I don't have any inspiration. You don't, as you can see, mainly I draw women.
Mhm,
But, I just know that the need to create, and I just let my hands and my intuition guide me, and what it will become, whatever it needs to become.
mhm.
That's
Okay, great. Everyone have their process and their motivation per se, and they what drives
it.
them, to create what they create.
There's some days I would like, oh, um, I could just create like, or I should create like a woman drinking wine or whatever. I guess it's a feminine expression of mine.
Mm-hmm.
I, you know, I just create.
Mm-hmm. And how did you come up with these ways of creating? For example, these different styles of creating. You just let me let you answer that for yourself. Because
I,
these are almost three, like not three, four, like almost distinct ways of, creating, a look or a view of how to, different perspective of, women, you know, different
now,
expressions.
now looking at it, I mainly draw black women, mainly in with natural hair, natural curly hair, or the black women that just express themselves, who prefer the natural, like they're confident in themselves. And
Mhm,
I've seen that not only on TV, on the internet, but in real life, even myself.
mhm,
So, um, creating that, because they do have some more for the traditional aspect. Like I would, me right here, I'll just paint me like this,
mhm,
but them in their most natural form, and being confident in that, and just trying to capture that as I would imagine it to be,
mhm.
that would be something that I, take inspiration from. I hope
Mhm.
that answered the question.
Yeah, it does. I mean, it lets us understand, your process and what motivates you to do what you do. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And I like this one on the left, the second one from the left. Um,
Nothing just
that
raised. Oh, the
that
alcohol.
says yes, that says she became dangerous to them when she no longer needed or cared for their approval. You
Oh
know,
yeah, I was going
that
through something with that one.
that says a lot. You know, that says a lot, and it helps you, like you said, women not afraid to be themselves and be able to express themselves and know their worth, know their value. You know, so
Actually,
that's
I was
good.
thinking about trees when I created
Mm,
that.
mm, it's
I believe,
beautiful.
and the because we do have this talk, whereas she would tell me about her childhood growing up and the difficulties she would face, and how she would wait for everyone to meet her at a certain point in her life. But then she realized that, you know what? I don't have to wait for that people for the way I want or achieve what I want. I'll just go for it.
Hmm.
I guess that's the main inspiration what led me to.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
There we go.
All right. Great. And hopefully, people seeing this and hearing what you have to say, it inspires more people to want to be themselves and express themselves and be confident that they're able to do, they're able to fulfill their dreams. They just have to want it and work towards it.
Uh,
And it doesn't matter what other people say, as long as you believe in yourself, you know, and willing to do the work, it's possible.
If no one choose you, choose yourself.
That's it. That's it. That says it all. All right. So this one is the Garifuna clothing that you had shared to me, years ago. Um, do you remember the word for clothing?
Hmm. At this point in time, I'm just guessing and just going with God. But Faridera Garifuna
Anagoni,
Anagon.
Garifuna. All right.
All right, you see?
So that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna share this that you had shared with me when you were sewing this outfit.
And this one, yeah,
Are you
is the
it?
the, the female Garifuna outfit. Now, my favorite part is the sleeve. This is what you call a petal sleeve. I sew the sleeve like this for her to get a little more arm movement, and the button pleated and everything. This is at the front, and this is the back. It's got a skirt. I had so much fun making the bottom, and yeah. Because that was my first ever Garifuna outfit I sew from scratch using measurements.
And what was that like for you to be able to create something from nothing, basically?
I had a pre-existing Garifuna outfit as reference. So it was like, to be honest, I shocked myself that day. When people ask me like, oh, for me, and I'm like, I don't know. I think. But when I actually did that, and I'm like, I don't require no classes. I just did it like Nike. And I
Mhm.
to this day I still proud of it. Even though I make my gun, I still proud of it. Because it was done with intention and it was neat. And I do recall every minute I had to seam rip, but it was worth it at the end because it fit her right. It did, right?
Mhm.
So it felt good once I finished it and I saw everything come together. I
Mhm.
was it was exhilarating for me.
Mhm. Mhm.
Now that I hate that, and now since I saw the reference skirt, I do hate the lee bottom part where I have to pinch and then press. But you know what? It's a part of the process. But compared to then, I know the skirt part with the decoration, I hate that. It's very tedious. But that's what makes the outfits.
That it is. Mhm.
Not everybody who creates like every single process, but the process is important and it does contribute to the final outcome.
Mhm. Mhm.
But I'm still
Yeah,
proud of
that's true. Binaro. That's true in Garifuna. Binaro. Uh, great. So this is the Garifuna flag. Do you remember the word for flag?
No, I do not. I am thinking I'm still on Fedora,
Fanidera.
Fanidera.
Fanidera. Okay. And What does the Garifuna flag mean to you?
Oh, back to primary school questions. To be well off the top of the dome,
Mm-hmm.
that flag is a sign of resilience. You know, if we have to include history in it, if I could recall clearly that the slave ships did discard the people, the Garinago people, and just say, you know what, we don't need to get this on our own devices, and they just think that would be it. But these people found a way. Garifuna people found a way, and this flag show that even though like what you said, coming from nothing and then establish it into something very historical, so that flag means a lot. Resilience, unity, strength, a strong belief system, and a strong engagement encouragement in for future Garinago people as well. So that flag means a lot. Just look at it, that just to say the least, because I could go hours.
Okay, great. And this one is of the Garifuna drum. Do you remember the word for Garifuna drum? For drum?
I do not. I'm
So
sorry.
the word for drum is Gararon.
Garawo?
Yes, Gararon. Garawoun. Gararon. And what does a Garifuna drum mean to you whenever you hear that drum, playing? What does that drum mean to you?
Immediately, I just think about Dogo. Immediately, I think about Dogo. Whenever I see or hear drums, I just feel like I just to celebrate my ethnicity. I just to celebrate being a Garifuna. I'm just celebrating, like, we gotten through all of the hardships. Now it's time to celebrate and dance. So when that drum knocks, it's to either celebrate or pay homage to. But not only that, it's for enjoyment too.
Mhm,
So yeah, that I would say about the drum.
mm. And this photo is to represent Garifuna people. Do you remember the word for Garifuna people?
Gadinago.
Garinago. And what does it mean to you to be a Garinago, a Garifuna?
Proud. Even though the late great uncle say you look like we boy you don't talk with language in a bootleg. But I'm proud.
You can't,
Thanks,
with
baby.
your thoughts, you can't know well, you can know if you spend the time and put in the energy to learn. If you want to learn, you can learn. But, when it comes to language,
I
you
just
know, having someone teach you from you're young, helps you to learn it as you're growing older. But if you didn't have that, then, you know.
yeah, that's true. But
So
you
if
know
you, mhm,
the good thing about it now, true indeed, I might not speak it or fluent in it, but whenever I hear people speak it, it just makes me smile because the language is there and it's still alive. It's just that I wish it would be mainstream as much as possible. But like I said, I like to celebrate other aspects. I love the dance, the food, the clothes, the people. And hopefully, if God spare life here and time strength, I want to go to Honduras for see all of this in action. Seriously, I would struggle, but I would survive.
mhm,
But yeah, especially it's strong in a Hopkins too. I would see them, some of the even the Chinese people there, the Asians, correction, the Asian would speak it a little bit. I say a cooling man. a musician. I so sorry if I don't remember this man's name. I think it's Cooley or Maya. I'm not too sure. And I saw him singing in Hopkins. I'm like, what? Why am I so thick-headed to not learn this thing? But I'll be honest, I never took the time to learn.
Mhm. I mean, like anything else, if you're interested, there are ways and means to learn, you know.
Across the videos, I stay
If
and I learn.
if
Even though,
you want to learn, that's like how you learn what you know now. You can still learn it if you want to, like
right.
anything else.
But seeing
Never
Garifuna,
too late. Never too late.
never ever. It's never too late. It's too late when you're 6 feet under, but it's never. As long as you breathe and have strength,
Yes.
you have time.
Yes. Yes. Every day is a chance and opportunity. Like I
Hmm.
usually say, to do better, be better.
Exactly. Oh, back to the question.
Hmm.
I'm sorry, the Garifuna people, but definitely proud to see them. Very
Hmm.
happy that I mean, I like where it's less of us, but it's just summer where they like what I said. Once one I will make it, everybody make it, but I'm not too sure if that unit is still strong. But I rest
Yeah.
my case.
Hmm. Yeah. Binaro.
Mm.
All right. So do you know the word for coconut?
Um, for good, like he had to think, but is it Paloma?
Paloma. You got it. You got it.
Not too good, you see? Not too good at my cannot.
Yeah. Good job. I remember this made me remember, my mom being, growing up, in the same yard for a couple of years and having, our coconut tree at the back and also at the front of the yard.
The one front of the house, I think, is still there too.
Oh yeah?
I
Hmm.
think it's still there.
Huh. I remember I said that day, but anyway,
Yeah, I
I
think
remember, when you get that feel for coconut, I just pull one down and have somebody, use the machete for.
that is it with the lime
Huh?
stick.
That's it. That's it. Those are the days, drink the water, eat the coconut.
But madam, and where I see it, it's her truest form,
Mm,
especially when she would make bread.
mhm, mhm,
You are fire. I do not, I don't see none of that again.
mhm,
The where you put the coal at the top,
mhm,
and I don't see that no more. I say if I could find somebody, if I have my own house, I'd have a fire hot.
mhm.
Have to. I
There's something special about that food when it's cooked or baked on a
yeah,
fire hut. There's specialties that you can't get anywhere else.
a labor of love,
Mhm, mhm. Yeah.
real coconut.
Oh yeah. When they make
Hmm.
tortilla or bread using raw coconut, you know,
And that
from
would
the tree type coconut. You
that would
taste the difference.
be one half 30 I used to eat farm and I'm a heavy kashima could cut it in half. Mm.
Hmm. Hmm.
She fever grass tea.
Oh yes. Oh yes. I miss that kind of tea there.
I
Kind
was
of tea you barely
soon
get.
borrow somebody bush and be what you call it?
Plant one.
Woman one, yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. Paloma. Cement tea. All right, so this one is showing the beach, the sea in beautiful Hopkins Village. Do you remember the word for sea?
Is it Barana?
Barana. Very good. Very good. Yeah.
Yes. Hey.
I can't wait to go by this beach again. Sit by the sea again in
I'm
Hopkins.
3 blocks away from the sea, so I'm there every day.
Hmm. What does the sea mean to you? You know?
Oh, I love the sea. Especially since people believe that's why I wash your bad vibes.
Hmm.
I love the sea.
Something, great, purifying or refreshing about being able to sit by the water by the beach, you know, breathing all that beautiful clean air, you know, that's blowing
Belize.
in your face, and being able to walk by the beach or take a dip.
Yeah.
There's something special about that. So this one is cassava bread. Do you remember the word, or do you know the word for cassava bread?
I should know it. Um, I should know it, and I see it by the packaging, and it was in a always a song, but it's not clicking right now.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, Ereba.
Areba, you got it. Areba.
Thanks to Mr. Andy P.
Exactly. Areba, Areba, cassava.
Yeah, Ereba.
Yeah. And what does cassava mean to you? Areba.
Cassava. I don't know. I'm just thinking about on all of these.
Mm-hmm.
That way with the dessert, the sweet treat with condensed milk.
Oh yes. Oh yes. I think about that, I think
It's
about my
very
childhood
nostalgic.
because
Yeah,
whenever I say cassava, that's exactly the way I do for eat it.
and the great Miss Primrose love them too. So
Mm-hmm. Oh
she
yeah.
it's definitely coming to mind though. So
Mm-hmm.
it's very nostalgic for me.
Mm-hmm. Hmm. Yeah. This is what we grew up with.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a strong culture presence right there.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So this photo is meant to represent family. Do you know the word for family?
I think I should know this one too. I'm no, I was saying no, because I
So
think I
the
should think about no.
so the word is very close to the English word. It's familia, and it's close to the one in Spanish too. Familia.
Ah, I think it was a complex word.
It's pretty close to the English word.
Familiar.
Familia. So what does family mean to you?
Family. Family. It's more of a feeling than I could say in words. But if I should pick few words, it would be what family means to me is just that not only does share the same traits or family tree, but someone you could rely on, someone you could go through and I'm not too sure, but it's more of a feeling for me.
Hmm.
A sense of security, a sense of, oh, I could be myself, a sense of knowing you for you,
Hmm.
you know?
Yeah.
But it means a lot. That one of my core values, but I just can't put it into words.
Hmm. All right. And this is the People's Garifuna Dictionary. Um, so what does the Garifuna Dictionary mean to you?
Knowledge. It's there. You could use it. It means knowledge to me.
Hmm.
That
Hmm.
there is a trace and word or trace of the Garifuna language that could be documented and used in transcript.
Hmm.
Yeah, that was what it would mean for me. Yes.
Okay. So, in terms of talents, Do you remember these?
I remember the butterflies, the shoes. I remember all of them. I think the picture with the flower, I think Antero still have it
Mm-hmm.
today.
Mm-hmm. So when you see all these, you know, expressions of creativity, you know, what do they mean to you in terms of how far you've come?
Hmm. I just say grow. Not only I just start from somewhere, but I'm 10 times better because of it. Each single thing that I've tried, done, or create, it's a stepping stone as to the person and the personality who that I am. It's just nice to actually look back and see the different things, and it's just sad to know that I highly critical of my own work. But looking at them now, like years apart, I see growth. That's what I see.
Hmm. And the the Dandie nails and cosmetics, does that still exist?
No, it does not.
Okay.
I mean, I used to do nails, but
Hmm.
I don't. We're at Gloriously Hers collections now, so that is what it transitioned into.
Hmm.
So, oh,
So these are more recent.
yes.
Um, I remember when you sent me the picture of this dashiki, I was like, "What? She can do that?"
I I was the same way too.
Ah. So all these images, it's when I see them, and I look back at them, I'm like, wow, you have like your level of skills is like well-rounded, well-versed in terms of so many expressions of creativity, you know, from designing these tote bags, with artwork to doing the chic's, Garifuna, female outfits, to designing dresses, to designing that she is now transitioning to social media, doing these bonnets, different colors, you know. Um, it shows your versatility and like you said, your growth from where you were to where you are today. So I definitely want to congratulate you in sticking with it, and growing along with it to where you are today, You've come a very long way. So I'm definitely very proud and happy to see how far you've come.
Thank you so much.
Of course, of course,
Thank you so much. I really do appreciate those words.
of course. So
Mm.
tell us about Gloriously Hers and how that came about.
To be
Gloriously, let me be more specific.
honest,
Gloriously Hers collections. How did that came about?
well, I actually was having a brain fart at that time. And I sat down and I said, here's what I know how to do. This is mainly what I stick with, but eventually I wanted to turn into this, like, self evaluate and analyze the talents I have, especially what skills I normally gravitate towards to, which it would be sewing. And I try to, strengthen my skills because, like I said, I want to be the type of seamstress whereas people would afraid for show me the front or a back of a garment and immediately I could make it without having to look on it. That's the level I want to be on. But I said, let's just get started because I'm always a person, I'm very critical of my work. Even though, you know, to the untrained eye, they might look like masterpieces and perfect. In my head, I'd like, all right, it could be better. But I said, with all of this creativity, I want to share it in some way, shape, or form. And learning how to make those things and having people to wear my pieces, that would be something I'm proud of. So thus came forth Gloriously Hers collection. And to be honest, it's still growing. It will turn into whatever it needs to turn into. But for right now, we're focusing mainly on handmade pieces because I do not want to compete with fast fashion and I want to make authentic pieces because as the years progress with the sheer quicker is better. That's how people doing. And creating pieces where you love and that will last and is authentic and it's true to culture. I want to, um, be a part of that or incorporate that in what I do. And I want people who wear my clothes to be like, yeah, one of a kind, you know? But yeah, I think I have like a little background drafted as to how it came about. But that just is one small aspect of it.
Hmm. Okay. And I want to share, do a clip from your TikTok, at simply underscore Dandie on TikTok. I saw this video that you post on how to make a dashiki. So I want to switch to that to show our
Mhm.
viewers the type of content because you are a content creator, and we'll talk a little bit about that after we watch this clip from your TikTok. So I will switch to this.
Like what all efforts and so forth it take for make that shake is because that's not really something personally I see the boat where you could say like hands-on as to the steps it takes to make a dashiki. So I show you how I cut the fabric, what alternative what alternate fabrics you could use and what's not, because it's just that simple. So let's get it. For the people that whether like me, whether a visual learner and a hands-on learner, this stuff you wanna. I make my dashiki out of a men's size medium t-shirt, and for this portion I'm just using just the bodice. So I'm just putting the folded edge of the fabric on the folded edge of the duck run. And I already cut out the front portion, sorry, the back portion. So I'm just going to cut out the front, and we're going to cut it out the same exact way we cut out the back, but we're just going to drop it down by 3 inches to make the front, and that's basically it. So in this clip I'm showing you from the neckline on the fold, mark 3 inches, and from the top of the neckline to the widest part you make a curve, and then you cut that off and you mark your front bodice and your back bodice. These are the designs that I made. I'm gonna go crazy, I'm gonna go ham, and hopefully I get to try out all of them. But I was looking at this one and I end up changing it, but that's a story for another day. So I'm using the front pattern and I'm getting the pattern material that I want to make the design with, fold that in half, and then place the shirt, the front part of the shirt that we cut out, on the folded edge of the fabric. So you would get your tailor's chalk and you would trace it. Be sure to include 1/2 inch seam allowance while you're making this trace. Now with this, I just made it eyeball it as to how long I prefer it, and I end up to change the design to this, which I never did go to that because I never did cut enough fabric, but I digress. So I'm just measuring the length that I think it was going to be and mark that on the pattern material. Get a ruler to ensure that my lines are clean and straight. And when I cut that out, I add also a 1/2 inch seam allowance. And I'm doing the same.
So that was a clip from from your TikTok page at simply underscore Dandie. So tell us about, what made you what made you come up with such an idea, and why TikTok?
Um, I mean, I never say like a step by step tutorial as to how to make a Belizean dashiki, a Garifuna dashiki. And I want to make it simple so people could understand it by using pre-existing clothing that they have. And for me, while looking at it, like I said, I'm very observant. While looking at t-shirts and dashiki, it might have they're about the same idea behind it. So using a t-shirt as a pattern or a reference
Mhm.
was the first step because again, I'm still working on polishing how to take measurements and put them into actual patterns. So I said a t-shirt would be great and anybody would could follow along who definitely would want to learn how to make it. This would be how simple it is, you know.
Mhm.
So I tried to cover it much as possible in the video. So I
Mhm.
thought it was interesting to share,
Yeah.
especially when it comes to pricings and so like people would try to beat you down and be like, "Oh, I just want that shiki." No, this is how it's made, and that's not everything too. So
Mhm.
educational purposes there about.
Mhm. And so I call you a social media sensation in terms of your TikTok and having 2,000 plus followers, What made you decide to go on TikTok, and how do you decide what content to share with followers or to share with people
That's a
to get
good
that
question.
terms that you know level of response, of people liking your content, commenting, sharing, deciding to follow you on TikTok, what started this whole, you know, process per se.
You did. You.
What?
Yes. You recall a dress I made? That was my very first TikTok video. And
What?
oh, yes. But
I have to go
unfortunately,
back to I have to go back to the beginning then.
I deactivate that page because
Uh,
I I had like I get tired of it. I said, you know what? Let's start again, but let's see this through to the end. But my very first TikTok video was showing people how to make that little wraparound dress I made for you. And they're like, wow. And from that I got a slew of followers. I was at 1,000 at that time, but I unfortunately I was going through something mentally and I just deactivated and I start all over again. But I notice I'm getting great reactions from videos I get for showing and showing people like the behind the scenes of what goes on, especially with sewing. It's like a tab. I want to say taboo, but people just believe that, oh, that was for run it and hit the machine. Well, there's more that goes into that, and I really wanted to show people like this is what all the efforts and the unseen things that goes into making something for somebody. And I'm trying to create content, whereas moving forward, that is, whereas I could create something, give people an estimate of what it would cost, or so that they can understand why others, or even myself, charge what I charge. But I just decided that, people enjoy watching me, so they always have question when they see me in person. So I like, let's share that on social media. I've yet to make a YouTube page on it, even though a few of my followers say that they would like it. But I guess I am in my own way now looking at it. But yeah, yeah, I just think that, and I think it's ordinary, but people think it's extraordinary. So,
Mm-hmm.
and I
Yeah.
think I'm boring. They say I'm entertaining to watch. So,
Ah.
yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. And how do you decide what to post? You know.
My content is all over the place. One spell I'm posting something so, next spell it's me and my cats. Next spell I'm thrifting. Next spell I'm partaking in a little skit. But it's all in favor of me. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I don't post. I don't feel like to post. Or sometimes I would just be a silent watcher and just scroll on TikTok for hours and be like, oh, I could post and just post. Or something be like, or I'm going through or creating something, I'm like, oh, this would be interesting to show, and post it. There's
Mm-hmm.
no thought behind it really.
Mm-hmm. And see, you say there's no thought behind it, but to get the level of reactions, you know, and of people who like your content so much that they react to it in terms of liking, commenting, sharing, reposting, deciding to follow you on TikTok, you know, you know, and getting to this point. So if someone wants to be able to get to the level that you are in terms of um, being a content creator, what advice would you give that person?
Don't overthink it, just do it. Because just like how I say, I think I am, boring or ordinary or basic. Other people might think otherwise. So you could just share, just do it, be yourself. Because basically, that's what I am in my videos, even though I'm like, I don't know, but be yourself and just post. I know I see it all over social media, but that's what it takes. Post, you will find your people, and those people will find you, and just post. Just that.
Hmm. And how did you decide, like, you know, yes, you say just post, but there are different ways and styles that I see or notice people do, or their let's say their strategy of posting or so, do you have like do you have like a strategy of how you post or the way in which you post that determines how many, reactions or so you get to the content that you post? Do you have like some kind of thought or that goes into that belief when it comes to posting on social media?
To be honest, there are some videos where I'd be like, oh my God, people would love it. And if you look, there would be like 68 likes, 56 likes. And there's some that I would just post on a whim and that does great. For example, Christmas, the G-Wiz video. I just post that out and I said I would have like 12 point something views and a whole slew of likes. And that so it's definitely up to what the people want or react to. Cause I notice when I do post like vlogs and those stuff, it doesn't do great. But if I would post like how if I saw something, I get more interactions, I get more shares, more comments. So I think that would go behind it and make my content as visually pleasing as possible.
Mm.
If I
Okay.
yeah. But I'm still in the works of trying to figure it out too.
Hmm.
It's a work in progress.
Yeah. But you figured it out, a lot better than a lot of us. So you're well on your way. And do you have like a goal as to how far you want to go in terms of, you know, what you post, how you post, and how far you want to go? So
Now,
that means, I know with TikTok in terms of lives, you have to have at least 1,000 followers, And while it's on different social media, it's way less than that. So I don't know how that works, but you know.
um, to be honest, I have this mentality, whereas I would say it's a weak point, where I would want to hit the ground running. There was a time I went live. I only got 3 views, but it did something to my mental and I never went live again. But again, everybody with a million views always start with one and two. Sort of like, just take it easy. It's not,
Mhm.
much. And I always try to talk myself through things. But future wise, I would like to be featured on more Belizean type stuff. Like if I would be a cat, I would have like forget free trip subway, but that's
Hmm.
me being the Lulu. But
No, no, it's not. Not in my mind.
in
I
terms,
mean, on these what you've been able to do, and trust me, that is no small feat. And I congratulate you to be able to do what you're doing and doing it to the level that you're doing it. Not everybody can do what you're doing, so I want you to know that what you're doing is something extraordinary. It's not something ordinary or basic. It's something extraordinary. And a lot of us can learn from uh, from you and seeing what you post, how you post it, and your level and variation in terms of creativity. A lot of us can learn from you.
but future wise, I just have this image where I was would like be featured. For example, I'm not too sure if it's a dream or a goal, but I want one day, wishing the content is coming soon, to get like Belikin, like create clothes for the models, possibly bikinis for the models, um, to be featured or you know, somewhere where I could excel creatively wise, like be featured, like for example, Belize Bank or what else? Belizean products, whatever products there is. Hell, I would even make a dress Marie Sharp inspired.
Hmm. And remember when you did the what was it, a class at niche, and you
Oh
were
yes,
able to
yes, yeah.
design that dress and be able to have it on display at the show.
And 3 ladies wanted that.
Yes, yes, that's
Really.
like all this were like, as you say, building blocks to get you to where you are now. And, those are possibilities. If you if those people or similar type people or organizations with such connections are able to see or are seeing what you've been able to do, you know, they may one day reach out to you and ask you to be a part of a show, you know. Could be a fashion show. It could be, you
Mhm.
know, an art show, different shows, different events, you know. And I think it's important to try to like connect with places like that feature small businesses, you
Mhm.
know. And when they have these small business type expos and thing, you know, if you could partake in that, that's another way to get more exposure. So
Mhm.
more things you participating, the more, you know, people you'll be exposed to, and hopefully, you know, one of them may be just that person to connect you with organizations or, you know, these different products for you to
I want to get
work
to
with them.
do that again
Yeah.
and sell from there. But I'll work my way there. Surely,
Okay.
but surely, I'll be there.
Of course, of course.
I'll be featured in Destination Belize. Who
Hmm.
knows?
Yeah, the sky's the limit. You know, you go as high as you want to go. As long as you have that vision and that motivation, and you clearly shown us that you do, you know, anything is possible.
Right.
So why just how did you came up with the name Simply Dandy?
Because I want everything in life to be simple. I think my life is simple. I
If
think
only,
that
right?
I don't want to overcomplicate nothing. And that's the life I lead. A simple, and the dandelion. I'm gone with dandelion my time, but that's close, near and there.
Hmm.
Simple than just it just stick. Cause I lead a simple life. I try to keep it simple, keep it cute,
Hmm.
and I don't think it should be complicated. Like I tell myself, I know for stress, I know for the rush. You are zen. So that is where it comes from, and I believe I embody that. So I think that name will stick, and it will be featured in some place, somewhere, sometime.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, I feel it in again. I believe that as well. Mhm. All right. So normally here I would ask, you know, if people are interested in the type of work that you do, you know, you're an entrepreneur, you know, um you have gloriously hers collections, and you know, you make so many different products when, you know, based on when creativity strikes, you know. So when it comes to people finding out, you know, what you're up to, what your latest products are, you know, how to buy those products, you know, and generally what you're up to, you know, how can people connect with you. But I saw this I saw this on your social media, you know, on your TikTok, and I was like, all right, this answers that question.
I have to change my name for Facebook again, but to Dandelion,
Hmm.
because I'm not touching that intro anytime soon. So
Okay. But yeah. So if there are other ways that people can connect with you, you know, if they want to reach out to you to you know, to possibly buy one of your products, or have you design a piece of clothing for them, or purchase, you know, any of your products, you know, how would they go about doing that?
through my business page, Glorious Hers Collections, I stop answering questions regarding business related stuff on my personal page. So
Hmm.
I have a whole business page dedicated to that,
And that's on which social media?
and Instagram. Hopefully, I'm in the works to getting a website. That way, they could just, you need have to interact. Just buy, I see the payment, I send it. Done.
Hmm. So you had said Instagram and what other?
Facebook,
Okay. And you said it's called?
Gloriously Hers Collections.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Sounds good. So in terms of what's next for you? Where do you see yourself in the next, 3 to 5 years from now? What's next for you?
Regarding content creating, I plan to be very serious and committed. I can't say consistent because I do work. So right now, sewing have to be part time because I am self funding my business. But I plan to do that more frequently as possible. Try sharpening up existing skills and be more open because I think I am not opening up to my followers, and that is why the number is stuck at 2,000. But what's next is possibly and being or for my business too, like incorporate more products there and being, very open about thing. But who's to say? I myself don't know what's next, but I know coming I'll be in a better place than I am now. And it takes me to like take it a more seriously. So better content, possibly a YouTube channel, possibly a clothing line. I'm creating clothes in hopes I get called for a fashion show. But who's to say God's will? Just God and time. But I'm excited for myself because I know the potential I have. That is the work. So yeah.
Hmm. Sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we're gonna put here for a little bit, as long as God allows us to be. So when that time comes, when that day comes, how do you want people to remember you? When they hear the name Simply Dandy, how do you want people to remember you? What do you want your legacy to be?
To be, I want my legacy to be very, I want to say, you know what? The sky's the limit. I would have wanted to be impactful, but mostly I want to be remembered for someone who is very authentic, positive, and extremely creative. And I hope and pray one day that I'm being remembered for something, and hopefully something in a positive light. And in with that, I just hope that whatever good I do, it pours over to my daughter. That would be nice. But I just wanted to be remembered of that something impactful. But I've yet to see what I've been. But yeah, that's what I would say.
Hmm. Okay, great. Dandy, Simply Dandy, my cousin, Sereme.
No,
Sereme. Thank you very much
uh-huh.
for your willingness, for sharing, for
No,
being the person that you are. And
no.
I'm glad that God blessed you with so much creativity and you have the courage, Goraso in Garifuna, to be able to go out there, be yourself, and express yourself creatively. I'm so proud of you, and I wish you the best for what's to come. And I know you'll continue to do great things. So,
Thank
Sarame,
you. Reme. Thanks. I really do appreciate it, Ash.
of course, of course.
And much
So,
love to your channel as well too.
thank you, appreciate it. Um, so any last words? Any last words?
Last words. Normally I have a paragraph, but I don't. Just stay true, stay you, stay blessed. That is it. La Madina.
All
Thank
right,
you.
Sarame, thank you.
Bye.
Ayo, bye.